Hello and welcome back to the Pasta Podcast, where we talk about nothing but pasta. Today we will not be talking about pasta. Today we will be playing Would You Rather. I, of course, am a pasta chef. My name is Gigi. How are you, Olivia?
I'm also a pasta chef. I'm Olivia.
I said, how are you, but good enough.
But you also failed to mention my status. So, I am
I
a
didn't
pasta
want people
chef.
to know.
We have our guest star, pasta chef Shadow. Say hello, Shadow.
That was some good commentary from Shadow. We appreciate it. So yeah. Should I start since I have a few more than you?
Oh, Shadow's my cat. For the pasta fan who doesn't know, all our fans.
Yeah, all two of you guys.
yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. So we're gonna play some Would You Rather's today, huh, Gigi? You want to get us? You want to get the ball rolling?
I do, and I will say before I start that some of these are very silly. A lot of these are very silly, and then some of
Good.
them are normal. So my first one, Olivia, would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into the future or 11 minutes?
Stupid. Like you were saying silly, I thought you were gonna mean something else. I did not think you were gonna mean actually silly, like actually ridiculous. Um, but seriously, probably 10. I don't want
Yeah,
too much
you don't want to.
information.
Yeah, we don't want too much. A lot can happen in a minute. That's a lot to process.
Oh, sorry, the microphone fell on my cat. It's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Anyways, so yeah, I also would only want to see 10 minutes in the future because 11 minutes is just too much. And it's too specific.
Um, would you rather play one game for the rest of your life or watch one movie for the rest of the life?
Ooh. One game. Definitely one game. Cuz there's like you can overanalyze a movie to death, but it depends on which game you're playing. Like if it's a story game, like where you're doing a specific story and that's the only avenue you can go, then yeah, maybe a movie. Maybe like a better movie. But if we're talking like Minecraft or Stardew Valley, there are different avenues you can take and you can play that for way longer without getting bored.
Yeah,
So,
see, that's what I was thinking. Because, I mean, I've seen the movie Revenge of the Sith so many times. And I mean, I've yet to get bored of it. It is like my favorite movie. But you can only watch it so many times, and then you have to be like, okay, I need a break from it. Whereas a video game, you can, like, I mean, I have, like, found so many different ways to play Skyrim. It's, like, crazy how much, like, especially open world games, if you pick like an open world game and it just has all this stuff, then that makes it a lot easier, I think.
yeah, I think that playing a game like Minecraft or Skyrim would be a lot more interesting for longer than rewatching the same movie over and over again.
Yeah.
All right.
Next.
This one, I'm not going to preface it. Would you rather would you rather be in jail for a year or in a coma for 5 years?
In jail for a year or in a coma for 5 years? Um, that's a good one. Probably. Huh. I feel like I can be a very like groggy person after I wake up from a nap. So I can't imagine the amount of grogginess you feel after a 5 year coma. But
No, you
also,
probably feel really well rested.
no, I would probably feel really gross. But also, if it was a 5 year coma, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I miss so much. Like, although, yeah, no, because you know the feeling when you get into something a little bit late? Like, if you get into like a TV show after it aired and you don't like, and you kind of wish that you had the feeling that you watched that TV show as it aired, because then you'd get that sense of like community and like this like feeling of like, oh, you're in on it, you're waiting for the anticipation of the next episode. And if I just like woke up and the whole show was out, I would be like, well, I guess I'm enjoying the show, but like I missed it. You know, I missed out. So
Olivia
probably
talks
jail.
about releasing whole seasons on Netflix and Amazon Prime.
um,
Obviously, you don't like that.
no. So probably
Um,
jail.
See, I was gonna say that I'd rather be in a coma for 5 years because, well, okay, I've been in a coma, not for 5 years, not for 5 years,
For
for
a week
like a day or
at
two.
most. At
Well,
most. A
I
week.
don't know if I was in a coma for that whole week or if I was in a coma for like a day and then I started waking up and they were like, put her back to sleep. um, but anyways, I've been in one. Don't know for how long, but it's just like sleeping. So I'd rather sleep for 5 years and not have to worry about the state of my body than having to worry about it for a whole year. I would have severe panic attacks in jail. I'd be crazy. I'd be like, "Can I go into protective custody?" They'd be like, "Nobody is harassing you." I'd be like, "But I feel safer in there."
But I feel like if I was in jail, I'd make friends.
I mean, yeah, it depends. I feel like it really depends on what kind of people you're in jail with, and also
Yeah,
for
what
what
if
you're
you're
in
in
for.
jail with like, I mean, if I was in jail for like stealing something for like a year, then sure, as long as
Yeah.
I got to keep it.
As long as I got to keep it, you can't use it.
No, I think I'd rather be in jail because then I make some friends. And then after I got out of jail, I can say I was in jail.
Yeah, but then when every time you go to get a job interview, you're gonna also have to say I was in jail. So
Yeah,
that's
but
my
then
thing.
I
You
can.
don't have to say you were in a
No, no,
coma
no,
every
no.
time you talk to somebody.
You don't get it. And then I can start saying how, like, I could make a TED talk and say how jail inspired me to go out and be a better person. And then I'd be a hero. And then I would get all the job interviews.
Right, right. Obviously, Olivia and I have never been to jail because this is how we think having been an ex-con
I could write a
works.
book in jail. I'd have so much time to do stuff in jail. I could write a book.
I always find it weird how many things you can do in jail. Like you can write a book, you can be pregnant in jail.
I
Like
could draw
there are
pictures in
some
jail.
things. I can draw pictures.
That would be
You
so
realize
much fun.
you can do
Me
all
and
of
the
these
girls
things out
drawing
of jail
pictures in
too.
jail. Gigi, if I was in jail, I wouldn't have to go to school. I wouldn't have to pay tuition. Oh my god. Sorry, my
This is
cat.
just like that episode of The Office where they start gaslighting Michael and pretending that jail would be better than working in an office. They're like, "Wow, it
Well,
sounds like jail is way better than this."
well, all you have to do is sit there. I could just sit there, Gigi. If I was in solitary confinement, they would be like, "Oh my god, why is she not insane yet?" And I would be like, "Because I'm making up the little scenarios in my head to pass the time."
You're so right because honestly, making up scenarios at night is not enough because you never get to the good shit right before you're about to fall asleep. And
Have
then
you
when you
ever
fall asleep, you
finished a
don't have a dream
scenario?
about it.
Have you ever finished a scenario?
Once I went back to sleep to finish a scenario and it worked, but that was only once. But it was very satisfying.
But no, when you finish a scenario, you're like, "What now?"
Yeah. It
I get a
also
what
goes
now.
to show how fucked up time and dreams work because I think that scenario would have been like 5 or 10 minutes longer and I woke up, I looked at the time and then I went back to finish the scenario and it was like 10:30 when I woke up and then the next time I woke up it was like 12:30. It was like it took me 2 hours.
No, I swear, in my head, how scenarios go is that I'll repeat one of my favorite scenes after the other, or I'll skip to the end, and then I'll be like, "Oh, that's gonna be how it ends," and then I'll go back to the beginning and play through the whole thing and get through the details, and
You
then it
really
just
are.
repeats, and then I'll do it
You
all over again, and then I'll replay it, but different things are said.
You really are such a gamer. You know that. You're 100%ing the game.
My favorite video game is Skyrim, and I've played it so many times. I just replay stuff. I can't find anything new.
I'm not like other girl gamers. I play Skyrim.
Do you want me to pick another one?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather fart in a library or fart in a room full of acquaintances?
Um, library, definitely. Like even if there were a couple of my acquaintances in there or like best friends. I'd rather
Well,
fart
okay.
in a library. Also,
So,
there's no guarantee it's going to be noisy. Sometimes you
so
can tell.
true. But so the thing is with the acquaintances, they're friends who aren't really friends. Like you've met them once or twice and you've both agreed that now would be a good time to hang out. So you're
Yeah.
in between the strangers and friends. I've learned this from Sims, Gigi. It's in between the strangers and friends. So you're not friends yet. This is what's going to guarantee if you become friends or not. Whereas if you go to a library and you fart, oh well. So I guess it would probably be library, huh? Because then you just go to the library, you fart, and then you never go back to the library.
Yeah. And like if one to be fair, like if you farted in a room full of acquaintances that you were like going to become friends with, if they don't if you apologize and then they're like, I can't believe you do that, I don't want them to be my friends anyways.
Yo, true. So maybe it's
Sometimes you
actually
just gotta toot, okay?
maybe it's a friendship test then. No, because one time I saw somebody fart and they like looked at me and I was like, haha. And they were like, that was awkward. And I was like, okay. Like, no.
Acting like people never fart.
I think
No,
that
you
I
know
would
what?
rather
I
in a
think
library.
my final answer, both. I'd rather do both at the same time. Acquaintances in the library, fart in there. And then you can really suss out which ones are gonna laugh because they're like, oh my god, that's so loud and this is a quiet environment. And then the other ones that are just like, oh my god, why would you do that? And then you're like, you guys are not my friends, you guys are my friends.
All
Coffee
right.
for everyone.
Okay, let's pick yours
Oprah.
now.
Okay. Um, would you rather be able to walk or be able to walk while breathing?
Huh?
Would you rather be able to walk or be able to walk while breathing?
He, you don't breathe when you walk?
It's not what I said. I said, would you rather be able to walk or be able to walk while breathing?
Like,
You're probably thinking right now, Gigi made these when she was super tired, but I made these at 12 p.m. I made them. No,
can
wait.
you
I
say it
made
one
these
more
at.
time? A little bit slower.
Would you rather be able to walk or be able to walk while breathing?
Gigi, this is the bacon and video games all over again. Would I rather be able to walk or walk while breathing? What do you mean?
Do
Do
you
you
want me to
mean like
repeat it again?
no? Do you mean like
I mean, like
like
either you're able to like walk, stop, breathe, walk, or you walk, breathe, walk, breathe while you're walking.
I do that anyway. That's just how
Yeah.
bodies
So what?
function.
So which one would you rather do?
Wait. So does the first one just cancel out that breathing's not in the option? So,
No,
are
you're
you
still
just
able to breathe. You just can't walk while you breathe.
I don't think you thought this one out fully.
This one is gonna be Olivia's 13th reason.
Which Wait, but why? If that's what you mean, then why on earth would I choose the first one? In what scenario? And I
To
make up
be
a lot of them. In what scenario would I choose the first one?
to be silly and mysterious.
Gigi, the Pasta Podcast is a place of realism.
Although currently I do walk, but I can't breathe while I walk,
You can't breathe?
which makes going up escalators a little bit difficult because
Gigi,
I
you're
don't know
making
if I'm
me
walking or not, so I can't breathe when I'm on them.
Gigi, you're making me breathe manually. You gotta stop.
You are now breathing manually. That's never worked on me. I don't overthink breathing. It's the one thing I can't overthink.
See, I
Anyways,
start overthinking breathing and then I forget that I was overthinking breathing and then I just breathe.
all right. Well, I believe
Moving on.
that your silence means that you'd rather be able to walk. So sorry for
Sure.
Olivia's breathing. RIP to Olivia's
I have
asthma.
asthma too.
All right, your
Okay.
next one.
I don't know what I was thinking on this one. Would you rather live on a mountain or be a mountain and have someone live on you?
And you said that my last one was ridiculous. I would rather wait, what was the first option?
It's would you rather live on a mountain or be a mountain and have someone live on you?
I would rather be a mountain. I do not want to do all that walking.
But you would
There's
you
too
breathe?
much walking.
Would
I
you
don't
breathe?
know. Do mountains breathe? Wait, I gotta look that up.
No, so like if you're a mountain, you won't have to worry about the breathing.
Well, even better. I get to sit still and I don't have to breathe. The breathing Himalaya. That was the first article to come up after I put "Do mountains breathe?" in all caps. You can't see it, but I put it in all
So,
caps.
so does that mean yes, they do breathe?
It says the researchers found that the Himalaya cycle through events that cause the range to rise and subside. It's almost as though the range is breathing.
You lost me at scientist.
I lost myself at the, but I kept reading.
um, I think I would rather be the mountain
Yeah,
and have somebody live on me, because then I could at least make a friend.
yeah. You could, like, I don't know, make sure that their plumbing system is intact or something. What do mountains do when people live on
Well,
them?
no, see, what I had in mind was that somebody was just camping out on you.
Oh, I thought that they had like a house on you.
I mean, I guess. I mean, that would probably make more sense, but I just had the idea that, like, somebody was just chilling with, like, a sleeping bag.
I definitely would not like hike up a hill just to like put a tent up on it and sleep on it. I would rather, like, if I had to choose
Well,
that
and what
option,
mountain would
I
it
would
be?
rather have an actual house.
What mountain would it be? What mountain would you want to be?
Everest.
No, that's too tall.
What mountain would you rather be? I answer no.
No, I would want to be. I would want to be the Rocky Mountains, the Rocky Mountain Range.
You'd rather be multiple mountains than be one mountain. Sounds like a
Yeah.
lot of work.
No, because then I'm in charge.
Olivia is an overachiever.
I like being in charge.
Shall we move on? Okay. So, my next question. Would you rather father a child or father a mother?
Huh?
Would you rather father a child or father a mother?
A mother? I don't like kids.
Yeah, me too. Well, that's decided.
Yeah, would you rather spend a day with Greek gods or spend a day with Norse gods?
I would rather spend a day with the Greek gods because they kind of scare me, and I'd
Wait,
rather
Greek
be on
gods
their
scare you or Norse gods?
the Greek gods.
So you want to spend a day with the people who scare you?
Yeah, because what if I don't, and then they're like, I do this to you, you know? The
Um,
Norse gods feel like they would have a little bit more forgiveness and be like, you didn't want to hang out with me, that's fine. But the Greek gods would be like, you don't want to hang out with me, I curse your entire bloodline.
I feel like I could smoke a joint with Thor. I feel like he would
Eh,
pass it.
explain.
No, just like the way he is.
Do you think he would also smoke?
Yeah, that's implied. I feel like he's an alcoholic. I feel like he smokes. He probably has a gambling addiction. He probably wears shorts. He probably wears tight boots. I have it all thought out. I bet he's like got that like a beard, but like he also has the stuff that comes up, and he like has to shave that stuff because it looks nasty when he doesn't. And so like sometimes it'll grow out a little bit, and there'll be like little fuzz there, and it's just gross. And I bet
I
he like has an eyebrow problem. Like his eyebrows are too bushy.
I bet he has an eyebrow problem.
Yeah.
It's just such a weird way of explaining that he has a bushy eyebrows.
Actually, I probably wouldn't want to hang out with Norse gods because they're probably like, they probably do like bad stuff. I mean, I know that Greeks do bad stuff.
Yeah, well, that's my point. Is I don't really remember any Norse god like fables where they did some really fucked up shit, but I
Well, they
remember a
do.
lot of Greek gods where they did that too.
Well, I know
And I
that.
feel like the memorable ones are the ones that you don't want not on your side, and for me, that's the Greek gods.
Well, but
I
I feel
remember all
like
the stuff they did.
The Greek gods are like, yay thunder, yay lightning. But then the Norse gods, they're like, hey guys, let's sail a ship, and I would like that. Then
All right,
again,
see,
Poseidon.
see, yeah.
Actually,
Well,
I probably wouldn't want to hang out with any of them. I'd probably want to hang out with like what are the other ones? Isn't there like Roman gods or something?
I don't know, Zeus
He's
and
Greek. Roman gods.
I don't remember what the Roman gods are.
They're pretty much the same as the Greek gods, just different names. Jupiter,
Does
king of
one
the gods.
does one also control the crabs? They got two guys down there controlling the crabs. Why do they need Poseidon and the other guy? Can't it just be Poseidon?
Here, wait, let me see. Hold on.
You ever think about how Poseidon was like, "Oh, I'll control the sea," and then Zeus was like, "Oh, I'll control the land," and then they were like, "Hades, why don't you, I don't know, control hell and become evil?"
Mhm.
And then they're
I
like, "You're
probably.
evil," and they're like, "You guys picked the first two rooms. I got the shitty last one." You know, when you go to a house, and like you're looking for a house to live in, and the kids are like, "I pick my room first. I pick the biggest one," or something like that, and then you're like, "Damn it, you get this one." That was Hades. Poor guy. Hades
I think
deserved better, unless he did
I think
something.
that I think that I would rather hang out with Hindu gods actually, because one of them, um, he's called Shiva, and he gets really angry sometimes, so they have to pour milk over him to calm him down. And I feel like
Goddamn milk drinkers.
I feel like I get that. Like, and also like one of them, Krishna, my mom told me that as a baby he would steal butter and eat it. And I think that's funny. He
I
stole
did
like
that too. I didn't get a cookie for it.
no, he stole whole sticks
I
of
got the
butter.
butter for it though.
He stole whole sticks of butter. And
I did too.
he's got many wives because he saved them from their abusive husbands. And he plays the
Very
flute.
nice.
And one of them has a
Unfortunately,
cow that follows him
unfor-
around.
unfortunately, the question was not, would you rather spend the day with Hindu gods or Greek gods? It was Norse gods or Greek gods, and
I
you
don't know
made the
why I didn't do
questionnaire.
that. I made the question. I would probably rather spend it with the Greek gods because I could find the chill ones and we could go into a room together and eat soup.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
maybe we could play a little prank on them.
Yeah, we play hide Zeus's kids from him. Oh wait, all of them are his kids.
Anyways,
Anyways,
this one, I don't know what was going through my head for this one. Would you rather be an actor or a dentist?
um, probably an actor.
See, I would rather be a dentist.
No, because then they have to deal with teeth. That's gross. You have to put
Yeah,
your
but
hands in
here's
their
the thing.
mouth.
You know when you go to the dentist and it's the worst experience you've ever had in your life each time because they're asking you all these questions about how your life is going and how school's going, and you're like, your hands are in my mouth, I cannot answer you. I get to do that to them. And I think that's why dentists do that. They like to see a struggle.
Um,
I also get
if
to
I was
play
a
with
dentist, I
sharp
wouldn't do
things.
that.
I would play with the sharp things. I also get to have the bubblegum flavored whatever they put in your mouth. Like towards the end that they make you spit out after a couple minutes, and they're like, "What flavor do you want?" I could just have that as a snack every every now and again.
Gigi, there's a. I'm sorry, but there. I gotta tell you this before I forget. There's a movie with Shah Rukh Khan where he keeps half of a banana in his pocket at all times in case he gets hungry later.
I don't know why you're telling me that as if you're not Shah Rukh Khan right now.
Um, but I would rather be an actor because I don't have to put my hands in people's mouths, and I would rather be an actor because if I was an actor, I could practically be who any I wanted. I could act as a dentist.
Yeah, and then you could get pointers from me because I would be an actual dentist. And then you'd also get to play with the sharp things. Except they wouldn't actually be sharp, they would be like fake props.
The sharp things.
But then maybe after I would be like, come over to my dentistry and I'll let you play with the real sharp things. And you'll be like, hell yeah. And then that's how that would go. Anyways, I think we've chosen our career paths. You need to drop out of school to become an actor, and I need to start medical school so I can be a dentist.
I think that is a very specific question.
Well, the next one's even worse, but it's your turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you rather live in Britain during the industrial era or live in Britain in the modern era? Wait.
Wait a second. Hold on. Wait a second. I need a second.
Wait, I thought
Hold on.
you were
Wait.
glitching out. I didn't know what was going on over there.
Industrial era Britain.
Yo, are you Googling industrial era
Yeah.
Britain?
Yeah. Um,
Did
I
you
don't
not
know.
listen in history class?
Olivia, there was history class and then there was history and religion
Didn't you
class,
graduate
and
early? Aren't you supposed to know more stuff than more people?
I did not graduate early.
I think you
I
graduated
just
like a week early or something.
Well, I finished all my classes like a couple weeks early, but that doesn't mean you graduate early. I graduated at the same time.
But you get my point.
The graduated I did all of my homework a week earlier than everybody else. That doesn't mean that I was
Answer
an
the
early
damn
graduate.
question, Gigi. Answer the damn
I'm
question.
Let me look at the Wikipedia page. God damn.
It's like trains and stuff.
Are you sure? Because this photo shows somebody weaving on a loom.
I don't doubt it. That's what they did then.
You said it was trains.
Yeah, that's when
Okay,
when like steam engines came to be.
I've decided that I'd rather be in the industrial era Britain because at very least then I could have an easy time killing myself because I would just buy like that green paint that used to contain arsenic and I would like eat it or something and then I kill myself because I'm British.
You can kill yourself easily nowadays.
Yeah, but I don't want to deal with everybody being like, mate, you got to get your mental health straight. That's what they would say, but now I would be like I'm depressed and they would put me in the same then I would put be like I'm depressed and they would put me in an insane asylum and I would be like, "Yo, this place got green paint." Hopefully.
I um but the good thing about industrial era Britain is that there's no shoot, there was a queen, wasn't there?
Probably.
Dang it. Um hold
Wait.
on.
When did Queen 1707. That's when the monarchy started.
Queen Victoria. So
Yeah, so
okay.
they were well into it was 1760 to 1840. So they were well into the monarchy.
So I think that I would probably rather live back then because not much would be expected of me. Whereas nowadays, people expect you to like do stuff.
Yeah.
But also in England, that's also a time where in the industrial era that we were still like they were still like I mean not they aren't still, but they were still like taking over land and stuff. So I'd probably get freebies.
Yeah.
Like gift bags, like, oh, we just conquered this country, here's a gift bag from that country. Like, we just came back from Hawaii, here's some pineapple. And I'd be like, ooh, yummy.
No, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? How do I open this? Because you've never seen one before. Do you think you would actually be
That's
able
right.
to tell how to open a pineapple?
I would probably be racist.
Probably. That was
Most
in
likely I
question?
would be racist.
I don't think
But
that's in question.
I would probably be less racist if I was in the modern era. Because they actually like allow different people to race different races there now. Then they probably didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't
Well,
they
unless
also
they,
like
like, colonized their country. But even then, they were like, no, you stay in the country that we colonized.
they
We
were
come
also
over there.
they were also like funding the slave trade during that era too. So like maybe not. Maybe modern era Britain.
At this point, everybody's still funding the slave trade.
Um, I don't know. I thought this would be an easier question than I thought. Because I don't like Britain. I don't want to live there at any time. It's just like, what's the worst of the two evils? You know, like Joe Biden or Donald Trump. I don't want either, but I have to choose one.
I would still live in the industrial era. Because
Well,
again,
yeah,
if it all gets too much to me, I can just kill myself.
but they did have really cool clothes.
Yeah, that's a bonus.
And probably if I had like since I was a woman, they didn't expect that much of me. So if I like wrote a book or something, I'd become like historical.
Yeah, they'd be like, this is the first woman ever to write a book. No,
This
they'd be
woman,
like,
yo. Uh
you should,
yeah, so
you'd, I would write like purposely like crazy shit in my diary just so that they would publish it one day. Be like, was this woman insane? It would be like, today I
and then
wrote a
like
boat
historical
in
figures
the
can
middle
say,
of the
"Oh,
living room.
she was it's a metaphor for something."
What?
The teachers, they can say it was a metaphor. Well, you were really
Yeah.
just on crack.
Yeah.
Wait, when did crack hit Britain?
When did crack cocaine?
What what drug was popular in 1800s Britain? God, even the name makes me mad. Britain. Opium and cannabis. So Gigi was on her opium. She was like,
Yo,
hey
and we're from
guys.
California. You can make that really easy here.
So opium, you would be on your opium, you would just write a bunch of stuff down, and then people would be like, oh, she was a genius. And you would be like, no, I was just on opium.
Yeah. It would be like, no, I was tripping balls and I thought there was a boat in the middle of my living room. It wasn't a metaphor.
You were like,
They're like they're trying to say that life is a journey and you should go wherever it takes you, and you're just like, no, I was saying I thought there was a boat in the middle of my living room.
no, no, you're like, oh yeah, I wrote some stuff about the Beatles, but they don't exist yet.
Yeah.
And they won't for another 100 years or so.
Just 100.
Over 100. Way over 100.
Anyway,
But not 200. Nothing crazy like that.
this is the exact thing that we would put unfiltered in the diary.
Wait, Gigi, we
And
should
they
write
would
a
be like,
diary about nothing, and then in the future, people will read it and be like, "What the?" They were talking
we
about
should
the climate change, and we were like, "No, we were talking about how the fuzzy wuzzies are everywhere."
make a diary where we pretend to be high. We just write whatever we want in there, and then we just hand it off to the other person in like a week.
Yo, we should call it the pasta book,
And we sell it
like
for
from the pasta.
$15,000.
Gee, it's like from the Pastaverse. Do you remember the Pastaverse?
I do remember the Pastaverse.
I want to see if I still have the Pastaverse in my phone, because then I could read it out. I do.
All right, taking a break to read the Pastaverse.
Okay, some context. I'm pretty sure this is before Gigi and I had actually come out with the pasta podcast. Um, but we created a pasta like different things for the pasta to do, like different topics, and it would just be us. So here's the list: the pasta podcast, which is this. Pasta Gaming, starring the Pasta Podcast. Pasta Culinary, starring the creators of Pasta Podcast and Pasta Gaming. Pasta Theory, starring the creators of the Pasta Podcast, Pasta Gaming, Pasta Culinary. Pasta Gym, starring the creators of Pasta Podcast, Pasta Gaming, Pasta Culinary, and Pasta Theory. Pasta Vlogs, starring the creators of Pasta Podcast, Pasta Gaming, Pasta Culinary, Pasta Theory, and Pasta Gym. Pasta Society, starring the creators of Pasta Podcast, Pasta Gaming, Pasta Culinary, Pasta Theory, Pasta Gym, and Pasta Vlogs. Pasta Music, starring the creators of Pasta Podcast, Pasta Gaming, Pasta Culinary, Pasta Theory, Pasta Gym, Pasta Vlogs, and Pasta Society. Pasta Craft, starring the creators of Pasta Podcast, Pasta Gaming, Pasta Culinary, Pasta Theory, Pasta Gym, Pasta Vlogs, Pasta Society, and Pasta Music. Pasta React, starring the creators of Pasta Podcast, Pasta Gaming, Pasta Culinary, Pasta Theory, Pasta Gym, Pasta Vlogs, Pasta Society, Pasta Music, and Pasta Craft. Pasta Realm, starring the creators of Pasta Podcast, Pasta Gaming, Pasta Culinary, Pasta Theory, Pasta Gym, Pasta Vlogs, Pasta Society, Pasta Music, Pasta Crafts, and Pasta React. And Pasta Realm actually exists.
Yeah. I
Oh
still
my
think
god.
that Pasta React would be like a great channel to have, because
I think they all would.
we could just like have like we could do separate episodes, like trade
Gigi,
off
I
every
think
week.
that we should name one where we actually make pasta and we could call it Pasta Pasta.
Learning how to pasta with pasta chefs. First episode title. Okay.
Um,
Anyways, getting back on track. I am ready to read my next would you
yeah,
rather.
please, please.
All right. This one is just for you, mainly. Would you rather be allergic to peanuts or fun?
Seeing as though I am allergic to one,
And it's fun.
Yeah, probably fun. I being allergic to peanuts sucks, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
I would. Anyways,
Anyway,
um, I would rather be allergic to peanuts because I already don't eat them. But
I
it's
don't
very
either.
helpful to, but it's very, it's very helpful to be able to not care about what's in your food. Because then you get to be like, oh, this has peanuts in it? I didn't know that. Instead of, this has peanuts in it.
Yeah, or at least, but when you're allergic to peanuts and you tell somebody you're allergic to peanuts, they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, that food that," or wait, I'll order something that doesn't have peanuts. It clearly doesn't. It'll be like fish, and then they'll be like, "Actually, that was they put a peanut on the side and fried it right next to it as the peanut and the fish held hands." And I'll be like, "Okay, well, I guess I can't eat it." And then they're
Yeah,
like,
they,
"Okay, do you want to try the chicken?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't eat chicken." They're like, "Guess you're not eating then." I can't
they're
go
like,
out.
no,
It's not fun.
stay inside. All right, it's your turn.
Okay, I had kind of a British thing going on here.
I could
Would you
tell.
rather have a British accent or an Australian accent? Two terrible accents.
They both sound the same to me.
Yeah, yeah, but they have different twangs,
Okay, well,
different
here's
treble.
the thing. I've heard of very many different, like, I've heard very many different forms of British accents. Some of them you can, like, understand, and it's just a little bit of an accent. And then some of them they talk like really, really over the top.
Yeah,
Um, and it feels like they're putting on a show. But Australians, they all just have like kind of one accent.
true.
They have
Yeah,
like
'cause
no,
they're
they have like two
colonizers.
accents. They have the regular accent, and then they have the one that they use on TV.
Yeah,
When
because they're
people are
living
like,
on.
"No, do your Aussie accent," then they're like, "I am doing my Aussie accent." They're like, "No, the Aussie accent." Then they're like, "All right, mates."
No, but do you ever like hear somebody with an Australian accent? You don't realize they have an accent until like they've been talking for a little while.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
So
"Oh my
I
god, you have an Australian accent." Like all of a sudden you'll hear it out and you'll be like, "Oh my god, excuse me."
Yeah, I didn't realize that a customer that came up to me like a year and a half ago was um, it was very early to me working at the theater, and he had an Australian accent, and I didn't realize. And I was at door, and he gave me his ticket, and I told him where to go, and he said thanks, um, but he didn't say thanks. He said cheers, and I was like, oh my god, he's Australian.
Yo. But why do they say cheers? We're not drinking.
I don't know. It's just an
I mean, I
Australian
don't
thing.
hate the cheers. I hate a lot from the British and the Australians. Um because they're colonizers. But
Yeah,
well, not because, but that does help to hate them.
yeah.
So like I don't know, Australians they get a bad rap for living in their and in the land that they live in, for not necessary reasons. Like, I see a lot of people who are always like, I would never want to live in Australia because they got the scary animals. See, that's the reason I would want to live in Australia, because they got the scary animals. Where else are you going to see those?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Well, well, the
They got the
thing is that
kangaroos.
isn't it an Australian thing or an Alaskan thing for like the scary ass spiders? Is that
Australia.
Alaska?
Alaska
Yeah.
doesn't.
So that's Australia. I don't know if I could live there because I'm not really scared of
Why don't you
spiders.
just live
But
there in seasons?
yeah,
You
but
just
like
want to go
I.
year.
But the thing is that like when Australians talk about like the idea of killing spiders, they're like, no, we don't do that. And then they have these gigantic spiders, and they're like, no, that's just they live there now. Like they live here with me now. I'm not like
Coexist. You
yeah,
see,
but then they're giant.
Well, you know what? I don't have a problem with spiders until they bite me repeatedly. Like, you can live here as long as you want. I don't care. Just leave me alone. But
Very bold saying that in this room.
no, I don't think I have a problem. I don't think I have a problem anymore. I mean, but I did have a spider problem a little bit ago. And I didn't want to kill them because I just don't like killing anything. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a very environmental, if you will, but I just don't like the idea of ending a life of something. So, I take my little glass and I shove it underneath and I let them out outside. I actually have this little container, which is great for catching spiders. And so I got very used to catching spiders and letting them outside. I don't see them here anymore. I think that I let enough out that they were like, "Oh, our friends are outside." Um, so, but the thing is spiders, they're very talented. Have you seen the spider webs? They spend
Yeah.
hours on those.
Very
Very
impressive.
cool. I like them. They're very cool. You know who, like, but you know what? I bet in Australia they have bigger spider webs.
Yeah. And
Want to
that's the
be
thing is
crazy for the
like
Charlotte?
I do have a spider web like somewhere in the corner next to my bed. Um but like I've never seen a spider, so like I haven't cleaned it. um I'm I'm sure that's bad, but like I only notice it occasionally cuz it's like see-through and it's not right next to my face. Um anyways, but like I'm okay with spiders. It's just that when they crawl on me, it freaks me out. And my first initial instinct is to kill the spider.
Well, I feel like that's everybody's instinct with it. Like when you see something crawling on you, your first instinct is to either slap it or toss it. You know?
Yeah.
I usually tend to slap it. Because actually, no, I tend to wave my arms around like a freak. Like I saw a mosquito on me once and I was waving. I was waving. And it
Yeah.
came off. We should move on.
Anyways, yeah, I'd rather be Australian.
Yeah, I guess. What's yours?
All right. So would you rather have 13 toes or 14 and a half?
In a half? Like half a
Yeah.
toe?
Yeah.
13 toes or 14 and a half? I'd rather have the necessary amount of toes that I need. But 14 and a half. So, like, I don't. Well, okay. So if it was 14 or 15, yes. But since it's 14 and a half, no. Because then I don't have the nail to paint on. And that's the only reason for toes is to paint them. So,
Yeah, not for balance or anything.
no. So I would probably rather have 13 toes just so I could paint them all.
Yeah. Well, could you imagine how well balanced you would be with like 14 and a half toes?
I feel like you wouldn't be well balanced because that one toe would throw you off.
It's only half a toe. Also,
No,
like the
it
half a
wouldn't throw
toe
you off.
in my head, I'm imagining like if a pinky toe was cut in half or something. It's not going to throw you off that much. Also, your balancing toes are like every other toe. So like your big toe is balancing and then skips one and then skips one.
You would just have white feet. You'd have to get custom made shoes.
Or no shoes.
Or no shoes. That's also an option.
Yeah. Anyways, I would rather have 14 and a half toes. I think the half toe would be a cool story, and I would make up different stories about how I got the half toe each time, even though I would probably just be born with it. But each time I would be like, a shark nibbled on me a little bit, and then he decided that he didn't want to hurt me, or something like that. I'd make up wild scenarios. And then
Okay.
they'd be like, where did the other two toes come from? Four toes come from? And I'd be like, next question.
um, okay. So can I do mine now?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather live inside a whale or live inside a kangaroo pouch?
I would rather live inside a kangaroo pouch. Actually,
Really?
have you ever seen the inside of a kangaroo pouch?
Yeah, they look pretty nasty.
Yeah, because it's like the basically the inside of the mother's stomach. So, no, I'd still rather live inside the kangaroo pouch. Because if I was a little Joey, it would be very comfy.
It would be
It'd be
comfy.
very comfy, and it would be very warm. And that's what the pouch is for, is to like protect the kangaroo's child. So I think
Well,
I'd
and
rather
you
live
know
in a kangaroo pouch.
did you know that in kangaroo pouches they also carry their babies in there, the fetuses?
Yeah, so I'd have some little friend sometimes.
I think they do. I'm not sure if that's true. You don't have to.
Occasionally, I would get evicted every 9 months, so that they could, have the baby, and then I
Nah.
would have a roommate,
Um.
and the mom would be like, "Hey, are you ever gonna leave the pouch?" And I would be like, "I've been paying you rent. I'm not your child. You know that, right?"
See, personally, I would live inside a whale because my thoughts is okay if I'm perfectly safe in there, I'm perfectly protected. They got no like stomach acids or something like in there. They just, the situation would work somehow. I think I would just be partying it up. Eventually, he blows me out the top, and I just climb right back in.
Though that would be so dystopian if this was like a horror movie, but for dolphins or something, where it's like, I keep throwing this child up, but she keeps crawling back in.
No, it would be like something of like there's a man or there's a what am I? There's a girl living inside a whale,
Misgendering
and
myself.
there's a girl living inside a whale. Oh, what should we do? Should we save the whale? And the whale's like, nah, she's chilling, man. And I would
Do you
be,
think
I
we
would
would
be.
have to? Do you think we would have to pay these? um, do you think we would have to pay these landlords rent, or do you think
Um,
do you think we could just like, I don't know, do things for them?
no, you see, okay, so there's a situation. So, I would be inside the whale, right? And so every time he blows me out, I go and gather a bunch of krill for him, and then I bring it back to him, and that's how I pay. And then he's like, "Oh, you brought me the krill. Good, you can come back into your stomach couch." And I probably
Yeah.
got a TV in there
See,
and
I
an
would just.
Xbox so I can play Skyrim
I feel like living in
and a light
a
bulb.
whale and a kangaroo is
There's
very different.
electricity in there.
Um,
I'm
they're
sorry.
very different because the whale has like a lot of space in it. So you've got like a spacious room to live in. Whereas mine, you can only really sleep in there and like hang out in there. So I feel like I would actually be very active in this life because when I'm not sleeping, I would want to get out of the pouch.
Yeah,
So I would probably just like pay my rent by being like, I'll help you gather some stuff for your family, you know? I think
yeah,
it works out both ways for both of us. And
yeah.
then I don't know, occasionally I'll be like, I'm gonna leave the kangaroo pouch to go and visit my friend Olivia, and then I would just hobble in into your
Join
house.
me.
Yeah,
You'd have to pay the landlord though.
I'll give it a little little head pet.
Okay. What's your next
Anyway,
one? I have one more after this, by the way.
oh okay,
I've decided not to read the Reddit ones because we're at an hour. I didn't think we'd make it this fast this far.
yeah. Um, so my next one: would you rather be rich or have shoes?
Be rich. If I could live life without shoes, I would be so happy.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I like shoes, but
And no, don't get me wrong, shoes are great. I ice skate, you know? It would be really hard to ice skate if I didn't have shoes.
you
I mean,
get blades
technically, they're
implanted
safe.
onto your bottom of your feet.
No, I use butter knives. I strap them to my feet. No, because they actually have like they're like vintage ice skates, and they like you would strap them to your shoe. No, I just strap it to my foot.
That would still be painful.
No, it wouldn't because if I had been barefoot my entire life, I would have this crazy callus at the bottom of my foot so I wouldn't get hurt on anything.
I don't want to think about that.
No, because nothing, I wouldn't like my feet wouldn't be in pain. I mean, humans, we were when we were born without shoes, without clothes. That's the way we're supposed to be. And our
Olivia
birthdays,
becomes a nudist.
I become shoeless. I would love to become shoeless. I see these people with their flared out toes, and I'm like, I want that. Where do I sign
You
up?
want that?
I
I
love
think it's
them.
I think it's kind of ugly, but
No, it's
I
a
do
very
appreciate
ugly,
that
but I'm
they're
not attracted to feet,
yeah. Well, I'm not
so I'm not
attracted to feet
affected.
either, but could you imagine trying to do your toenails and they look like that, and so they're never gonna look pretty no matter how often you paint them.
But my feet would be so comfortable. I would have
Yeah.
crazy grip.
See, I probably would have. I feel like if I went like foot shoeless, you've seen my feet. I've got like monkey toes. I feel like I would be a very good candidate for going shoeless.
Yeah,
I
you
would
would be.
be I would be so strong.
Hmm.
Anyways, I guess I'd rather be rich.
I would rather be rich
And
too.
honestly, selling all my shoes might make me rich. So, well, not all of my shoes, but all of my shoes and my mom's or something like that. She's got a lot of shoes. Could become
Um,
rich.
but also, if I was rich, I wouldn't have to wear shoes anyway because I was
Yeah.
rich. I could do whatever I
Everybody
wanted.
else is doing everything for you.
Yeah.
Go to the store for me. Go take care of my yard for me. I'm gonna sleep in my bed. That's that's what I would
Moving
do if
on.
I was my checklist for being rich.
Okay, this is my last one.
Okay.
Would you rather, and this one is kind of for you, kind of.
Oh,
Would you rather live in the Doctor Who universe, but you aren't a Time Lord, or live in the Nickelodeon universe in which every character is canon?
ooh. I would rather live in the Doctor Who universe and not be a Time Lord because I don't know if I would want to be a Time Lord anyways. Because you know that meme going around that's like, I'm glad we only live once because I can't do this, and then it's like fandom name shit again. Um, that's exactly how I feel. I can't do this again. I don't want to do this again. And also like Time Lord, they have a lot of trauma. Um, Time Lords, they have to
But
look
not
at
necessarily. It
no,
doesn't
they
come with
have
a
to,
package deal.
yeah, but the way that you're when you're like counted to be a Time Lord, because there's Gallifreyans and then there's Time Lords. When you're a Time Lord, they take you to look at the untempered schism, which is a rip in the whole of reality, and it
Ew.
can make you do one of three things. It can make you inspired, it can make you want to run away, or it can make you go mad. And I don't know if I would definitely be the one to go mad. I'm sorry.
Gigi, I
I
have
would
to tell
not
you
be
something.
inspired.
I have
What?
to tell you something. Um, there is something
I knew you would.
exactly like that in Skyrim.
That's crazy.
Exactly. Like I'm like word for word, like exactly. And it's how
That
you
is
become a
crazy.
god. It
I
happened. You know who Talos is?
no.
Okay, so he's basically the man who turned god, and he became a god because he reached Kim, and that's what that is called. Like he and the thing is he had a self realization that he wasn't real and that he was in a dream. And people who realize this have that. They either become mad or they like use it to their advantage and they become a god.
That's crazy. Anyways,
Anyways, I would
yeah, I'd
probably
rather
rather live in the Nickelodeon universe because then I could meet Danny Phantom.
yeah, and then I could meet the doctor and be like, "Hey, can we go back in time 5 minutes ago? I did something kind of embarrassing. I want to stop myself from doing it."
And he would be like, "No, love."
No, he would, because I would be traveling with the 12th Doctor. I'm sorry. So he's Scottish. And then he would be like, no! And then I would be like,
Wait a minute.
okay.
That's the same thing.
I can't do a Scottish accent.
Were the Scottish conquerors? I don't think they were.
I don't know. But the
I know
doctor
that the
does
Irish
mention
were
it in
super
the.
oppressed. Did you know that?
No?
The Irish were extremely oppressed. They were always going through a famine.
The potato famine. No, that's the only thing that they weren't famined of. um, no, but I do know that in Doctor Who, he mentions that Scotland is never conquered because I guess they never were conquered.
Uh, Scotland's commerce was an integral part of the British colonial economy by the late 18th century.
I don't know what that means.
England tried to colonize Scotland.
Tried means that they failed,
Yeah.
as they always do.
They colonized Nova Scotia.
The British or Scotland?
Scotland.
Ah. Anyways, but yeah,
But that's it. That's the only country they've colonized.
yeah.
And I
Which
think it's
is
still mostly made out of native people. I think native people live there. Like they're the majority.
yeah. And
So
really
they
that's something that's like it's rare. We got to give him a pass for it. Anyways,
thank you, Scottish.
thank you, Scottish.
I have a Scottish clan,
Anyways,
you know.
nice. Um, I'll do the last couple a little bit faster.
Yeah,
Uh,
speed
would
running.
you would you rather be transported into a horror game for an hour or have to do your taxes?
Um, I get traumatized easily, so taxes.
I would rather do the horror game because I would cry less. Because not because my taxes are hard or anything. Because I don't own anything or anything, so it's really easy. But I would cry trying to figure it out, and I would also be like, "What if this is wrong and they hate me forever?" And then they're like, "This is wrong, and you owe us $15,000."
See,
I
I
don't know how
would
taxes work. Anyways,
See, I
um,
would I would still cry for both of them because since my dad does taxes, he would probably help me do taxes. And then my dad helping me with stuff usually results in cries from me. So, it would be
yeah,
either
that's
way.
what I mean.
But I would be
My
less traumatized.
my mom would be like, "You're doing this wrong," and then I would be like, "No," and then my dad would walk into the room and he would try to take over, and then I would start crying because he's telling me I'm doing it wrong. So this is what would happen.
I would
Okay,
be less traumatized.
all right. So you'd rather do taxes? I'd rather do horror games. Um, would you rather eat only salt for your whole life or only chocolate?
Only chocolate.
See, I was gonna say only salt because that allows me to eat other things, and there's some overlap, right? Like if I eat like a chocolate covered potato chip, does that count as salt or chocolate?
See, well what I was thinking is that when you say salt, you just mean spoonfuls of salt. And when you say chocolate, you mean spoonfuls of chocolate, which
No, I mean like if it
I would
has
really take
chocolate
it.
in it, if you had an egg that had chocolate in it, you could eat that if you and if there was like salt in a dish, then I could eat that.
I would still only eat chocolate. I love sweets. I have the worst
I
sweet tooth.
I do love sweets, but I feel like I gotta go salt because I do love me a good salty thing.
I do love a good cheese it.
And it is harder to binge on salty things for me than it is on chocolate things.
Are you kidding? It's easier for me to binge on salty things. I do it every day.
No, I mean like I get a stomach ache when I eat chocolate things, but I still keep eating them.
Like,
I still
with
like with
your
salt I'll stop. But
all right,
anyways,
do you have another
I,
one?
I have one more. It's my last one.
Okay.
This one's a biggie. Would you rather cry every day or twice in one day? Whoa!
Wait, repeat.
Would you rather cry every day or twice in one day? Whoa.
Cry every day or twice in one day? Crying can be refreshing, so once a day.
Yeah, I agree.
It depends on what kind of cry you mean. Because, like, if you mean like yawn cry, I already do it.
Yeah, well, I meant like a good cry, not like a hard cry, not like one of those where you're like, this was the worst cry of my life. I cried for hours, but like a good like 10 to 15 minute cry,
Yeah.
and then the twice in one day is the same. Just you do it twice.
Probably just once. I don't know what
See,
that is.
I already cry twice, uh, twice a day every day. So I'd rather do once because that gives me a little bit less. Gives me more time.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all I got.
You know when me and Gigi are have that awkward pause that we're done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our would you rather's. Um. So everybody, stay tuned for next week. We have a special episode for you, right?
Maybe.
Or is that episode after next?
I think it's episode after next, but we could do a two-parter. Depends.
Episode after next. Guys, stay tuned. It's exciting. We're getting at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
We didn't think we'd even do the podcast, let alone a season.
Yeah. We did this.
We've committed. Hopefully we come back. Hopefully I don't get distracted. Okay. Should I take us home, Gigi?
Take me out, Olivia.
Um, Thank you everybody for watching, listening to the Pasta Podcast. We hope to see you next time. And we love you. We miss you. We hope you have a good night, and we hope you eat some good pasta. Goodbye, everyone.
Stay hungry.
Stay hungry. Don't colonize Scotland. They're sensitive over there.